Now guys, we are going to talk about, let's say, numeric functions. I'm doing the function which is important to you, not every functions. Called numeric functions. For this numeric functions, what we have to do now, we have to go for importing data. So let's copy this, paste it over here. I call this as num data. Okay. In this num data, I want to print only the top 10 records. Now going back to the data, rename, I can call this out here. If I run this program, I see my table is coming, which is given as, let's say, 5. Okay. Now I have given product ID, category, subcategory, product, which has been sold out in Jan, Feb, March, April to December. That is what the data is given. Are you seeing this, guys, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Right. What I want to do here, I want to go for quarterly sales sum. Then Q1 to Q4, I want to get the yearly sales sum. So how will I go for doing this? So let's create here. I call this as to get the quarter sum, yearly sum from the data set. So how to go for doing that? To getting this quarterly sum from this table, first of all, I write here, import pandas as PD. When it comes to mathematical expressions or equations, better you always make a practice of calling NumPy as NP. I create here qtr1. I call this, take the value from, or maybe what I'll do here, okay. Now I take this here, Jan to March. Okay. So now this is for Q1. I'll move to Q2, I'll move to Q3, I'll move to Q4. This is Q2, this is Q3, and this is Q4. Now, April, May, June, it has to go like this. Now, July, August, September, I want to take it this way. Then October, November, December, I will be taking this way, right? So now, yeah. How to go for yearly sum? You would be going by what? Jan to December. Okay, right. What I want to get here from the table as my num data. First, I want to get Q1 underscore sales. This is the new field I want to create here. What I'm trying to achieve for this, taking this data, right? Calling this Q1, that I have these are the variable. I write dot sum bracket start called axis is equal to 1. That's it. Now, if I say num data for Q2 sales, for Q3 sales, for Q4 sales. This is Q1, this is Q2, this is Q3, and this is Q4. Then I want to go for this table where I want to go for getting this as yearly underscore sales. Now, how will I get my yearly underscore sales? For that, I'll say num data with yearly. Then I have to write here dot sum x is equal to 1. If I go for calling this dot head of 10, ultimately I can see the output is coming here, or let's say 5. If I run this program, I can see this is giving me Jan, Feb, March. What is the Q1 sales, Q2 sales, Q3 sales, Q4 sales, and all Jan to December. What is the Q4 sales? I can also call this as PD dot set underscore option bracket start. I will write what? display dot max underscore row. Then I will write what? None. I'll also do it here for max columns. If I run this query, did I get my output is coming, guys? Everyone. Jan to December, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3 sales and yearly sales is coming. Everyone, are you getting this?
Yes.
Are you getting this, guys?
Yes.
Right. Now, what we can do here, we can also take this program with yearly. Now, what I have to do here, I want to go for getting, this is called, I want to get that prod sales. It's a norm data. I want to go for creating the first variable name as yearly underscore sales, where I will say num data. This is going to be yearly date sum axis is equal to 1. This is called num data. This is called yearly sales underscore sum, yearly sales underscore average, yearly scale underscore minimum, yearly sales underscore maximum. So I want to go for giving this way. Now in this, what I'm doing here, sum is sum, average is mean, this is going to be minimum, and this is going to be maximum. If I run this way, I can get my output coming as what? What is the total sum? What is the average? What is the minimum sales? And what is the maximum sales? Are you getting this, guys? Guys,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
now we'll talk about here number allegation. What is called number allegation? Here is an example to you. For number allegations, we want to go for using this. Okay. How to go for absolute, how to go for round, how to go for power, how to go for division with the remainder value, how to go for length, how to go for the number format, how to go for the currency format in the data. For example, if I'm using here num is equal to -5. Okay. So now if I want to get absolute underscore value, how will I get it? I'll say absolute function of what? Num. Now, if you print the value of 9, so you might have done mathematics in the school level, any value mode is going to be always positive. Even if negative or positive is going to be positive. For example, absolute of -5, -95. So what is going to happen here? It is going to get the value of what? If it is num as minus, run this query. So absolute value is going to remain same. Absolute value for this -5 is going to give you as -5 here. Now, if you say num is 5.3456.
Sir, call that absolute value. We are calling num. So for that's the reason it is showing -5 as a result.
What are you saying? Absolute?
We need to call for the output. We need to call absolute value so that we will get the output as the absolute value of -5. As we are calling the num at the end, for that's the reason it
Yeah,
is
yeah.
giving us
Yes, yes, yes. If it's a print of absolute value, you see the result is coming to positive. Now, if you say, I want to go for getting the number into random number, so round, I want to round this number to a positive integer. So how do you go for getting this? Let's say you call this as a round underscore number. I would be using the function called round bracket start. I will say number with the seed value is going to none. Now, if I say print the value for round number, what is happening here? It is going to give you as 5. Now, what happens sometimes taking the same value, I call this num with 2. What is the seed value is going to get the answer? 5.35. Now, if you say, I want to round this number with 0, what is the output is going to come? If you run this one, is going to 5.0. But if you're writing none, it is going to be single integer value. Is this clear? Is this clear now, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now we'll talk about power. What is power? For example, you are taking here, let's say your base is 3, your number is coming to 5. What you're trying to get this here, your result is going to be a power function of your base to num. Now what you'll do here, you will write print the value for what? Result. What's the output is going to come in here, guys? It is coming as 3 to the power 5, which is 243. Had it been happen 5 to the power 3, what is the output is going to come in here, guys? 125. Does it make sense to all? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, let's say I want to go for getting the remainder value, right? So how to get this? For example, I have given a dividend value, which is called, let's say, 11. Now I have a divisor value, which is given as, let's say, divisor value is given as 3. Okay. Now I want to get the value for how much the quotient will come. Now how much my remainder will come, I want to get that. Okay. So how would you go for getting this value from both? You can use the function called demode, where you are taking this dividend with the divisor. So ultimately what you're trying to print here, print the value for quotient and print the value for remainder. So ultimately what output is coming to you? If you divide this 311 by 3, definitely 3 is your quotient value, remainder is going to 2. That is what the output is coming. Making sense to all of you guys, everyone?
So about that syntax, quotient, comma, remainder.
These are two
means
variables
by-
you're creating.
Oh,
Two
okay.
variables from this you're creating.
Okay.
Okay. Now we'll talk about, guys, how to go for getting your format. So format for what? Number format. Format for what? Your decimal format. Number for what? Percentage format. Number for what? Currency format. Now how to go for using this formatting part, we'll talk there. We'll talk through this example here. Now let me start. I write num value is 1289067.6789. Now this is the number is given. Is this clear now, guys? Now I want to get that num with number format. How do I want to get it, guys? I want to get it num with number format. Now, how do you go for getting this format for this value? I'm going to use here the function called format, then double quote. It starts with the curly bracket start and close. Again, the double quote is going to end here. In this, I want to call the field name as num. I want to call the field name as what, guys? Num, where it should be going with 2f. When I say 2f, what is it happening? We'll see that. Now let's say same number. I want to go with what? Number with 0 decimals. I'll say number format 0 decimal. So what I will write here to get this 0 decimal to this number format, I would be using the function here separately. The function for the number format is going to be, let's say, create this bracket. Within this, create the curly bracket also. And in this curly bracket, you put a colon. Then you put 1,000 comma separator as comma dot 0 and f. Then you write here the format name is dot format bracket start, the field name is what? Num, and bracket close. Is that clear to all of you guys what I'm doing here, everyone? This is called 0 decimals. Now what if I want to go for a currency format? So now let's copy this number format to currency. In this currency format, what I will do, I will just put a dollar symbol before this dot format. I can go for giving this value as num. Now you can go for printing the value of number format, go for printing the value for number format with 0 decimal values, number format with currency values. Run this program. I got this error. I was thinking I'll be getting an error. The error is coming here with the first line itself.
Dot is missing, sir.
Dot is missing, yes. The first one is coming as what? 1,000 comma separator with 2 decimal values. Second one is coming 1,000 comma separator without decimal values. And the last one is coming as a currency format with dollar currency format. Is this clear to all of you guys, everyone? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now what we will do here, how to go for getting the value into your ceiling, flooring. So let's say get the value with uh, with number aggregation. So what is called number aggregation? I'll be showing this example here. One is called integer, one is called floating, and one is called ceiling. So these are the three different things we need to apply in the data. How to go for doing this? For example, I took a value here. So for that, I'll be using import math as a function. I will say, let's say the value, which is given as 123.456, right? Now, when I say I want to go for getting this value to version 1, where I want to use this, a math function is a package. From this, I want to use slow ceiling for value here, right? Same thing. I will also use here value 2, which is going to be floor function. So I'll say floor of value here. Then to get the value for integer. So how to go for getting this integer? So let's say value 3. Does it go with integer? Now let's apply this as well. Ultimately, what we'll do here, you print the value for value 1. This is 2. This is 3. It's just a value. Okay. If I run this query, it is not taking. So integer is not going to take by this function. So how will you go for getting the value with integer? Since integer is not going to come like this, maybe you don't have to use the function called math here. Without math also, you can get the integer, but let's run this program first, see what is happening. It is coming as what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When it's a ceiling is going to the top of it, which is coming as 124. Floor of this value, which is coming to 123. Now for integer, I think we should use the function like this.
Dot as type.
Sorry.
Dot as type int.
Okay, now let's say value is equal to integer. You are saying that you go for the value dot as underscore type bracket stat, which is called integer. I hope it should work. Let's see. No, it's not working. I forgot this
Underscore.
value. I don't think that, I think if I use only the integer function, it should work. Let's see. It is working. Is that clear now?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Now we have completed this part. Now we'll go for next function, which is called datetime functions in your Python. So